I opened this game up with knight to f3, with the reti opening because I tend to play the reti gambit, and my opponent plays into it. Well, doesn't play into, actually develops the knight, and then I take, and then moves the knight to take the pawn, and then retreats again, and now I just take the center, attacks my knight. I protect my knight with the bishop. He pushes the pawn. I develop this pawn. He gives me a check. I go here with my knight. He castles, and I castle. What happens after is he takes my knight, believing that I was going to take with the bishop, thinking that he'd win this pawn here. However, I took with the knight because I want to keep that protected. Because since I was able to castle, that that knight is no longer pinned to my king. And then we just develop as normal. I apply pressure. He's up 1 point of material there because I miscalculated what the outcome of that situation would be. But again, now I'm applying even more pressure. He retreats back to defend the knight, and now I pin that knight to the queen. He pushes the pawn to attack my bishop. I retreat. He pushes that pawn to defend the knight. I push my pawn to attack his bishop. He retreats. I bring my rook in the center. He moves the knight to attack my bishop. I was just gonna accept the fact that my bishop's trapped, right? So I just push that pawn forward in order to have an escape square for my king later down the line. He moves back because I knew that he was trying to have his queen and bishop aligned to attack my king. I'm trying to get my rook in the middle, hopefully get my rook in the center here or even here at some point of the game. That's why I did that maneuver. He now does what I thought he was going to do, and I just block. He attacks my bishop. Take. He takes with the pawn. Now he's got a single pawn in the middle, whilst like his pawn structure is a bit worse than mine, but he does have one extra pawn, so if anything, it's not all that deep. So now I apply pressure towards center. He takes my bishop. I take back with the knight. Now he reinforces this middle section, the d file, with the rook behind the queen. Now I attack the queen with the knight. He retreats, and then now I take the rook. The reason why I take the rook is because after he takes my rook, I have a fork where I fork the king and the queen, and I win the queen. And then once this happened, it was basically game over because at this level, when you have a queen and your opponent doesn't, they just tend to just resign or they just end up losing all their pieces.